What is up, YouTube? Once again, it's your boy, God King Futz, and today we're going to be going over the easiest way to complete the Cayo Perico heist. We'll be going over all the best setup choices and the routes to take to make sure that you get the maximum payout every single time and make your way out of Cayo Perico with a duffel bag full of contraband and a fancy Elite Challenge bonus coming your way. By the end of the heist, you'll be netting more than $1.5 million as a solo player every single time. And with the setups only taking a little more than an hour, you'll be netting more than $1 million per hour as a solo player if you can keep up the pace. Now, there is a lot to get into, so let's get into it.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mobs.
Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I actually complete all of the editing for my YouTube videos on my cell phone. You could probably notice the KindMaster watermark in the top right of the screen. Now, I just hit 300 subscribers and I'm hoping to ride this Cayo Perico wave into YouTube verification. So drop a like if you like what I do today and be sure to subscribe to show your boy Futz some love. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. So if you're clicking this video, you probably don't yet know what the meta is for the Cayo Perico heist. So you're going to want to choose the Kasatka submarine as your main approach vehicle. Okay, this is going to spawn you right in front of the drainage tunnel, which will be our infiltration point and our compound entry point. This is the meta, guys. Believe me, you're going to want to choose these options. As far as an escape route goes, you can take the main docks because it is the closest to the compound, but at the end of the day, I'll explain a little bit more later. It all depends on where your secondary loot spawns. For time of day, I like to pick nighttime because it makes the guards' vision cones a little bit smaller. And for weapon loadouts, I usually choose the Conspirator loadout. This is honestly just my personal opinion, guys. Choose whichever weapon loadout you feel most comfortable with as long as you buy the suppressors to go along with it. As far as the support crew, I don't hire any of them. They aren't necessary and end up just being a waste of time during the heist setup missions. Another quick side note I'll go over more in depth in another video is that you can actually skip over the explosive setup mission by choosing the cutting torch. Now, the cutting torch is going to do everything you need it to in order to complete the solo heist with the Elite Challenge, and it's actually silent, so that's just, less guards to shoot. Starting off the heist, you'll end up spawning in your submarine on the south side of the island, just below Rubio's compound. The game points you in the exact direction of the drainage tunnel, so don't bother moving the sticks, just mash the A button so you get to where you need to be. This isn't going to make or break the Elite Challenge for you, but it is the fastest and most direct path. So I'll take a minute to just explain, guys, while we're swimming to the drainage tunnel, that this heist should always be done solo. Always, always, always do it solo. This is going to be the best option for you financially. It's going to be the easiest option for you as far as sneaking around the compound goes. You don't have to worry about any of your teammates alerting guards. Honestly, at the end of the day, if you're going to have a teammate, they need to be reasonably good at the game in order to get away with the Elite Challenge, have everybody's bags full. And if they're good at the game, they're probably not going to want to take 15% cut. Unless they're super, super rich or super, super charitable, doing this heist solo is going to be the best option for you. Make your way to the drainage tunnel, and when you enter the Corona, tap right on the D-pad to whip out your cutting torch and begin cutting the bars. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that say that you should just drag the cutting torch across the bars as quickly as possible. I find that to be very sloppy, very inconsistent, and I can guarantee you, practicing it the way that I'm doing it right now is going to be much faster for you. You can see I'm not even perfect at it, but I guarantee this is going to be much faster than just inconsistently dragging the torch across the bars. At the end of the day, guys, the mini games, if you want to even call them mini games, between the hacking of the fingerprint and the cutting of the drainage tunnel bars, your technique isn't going to make or break the heist. Just do the techniques that I'm showing you here in the video, and I promise you'll get the Elite Challenge every single time. Now, I took my time with this. It wasn't a speed run, but I ended up with about 2.5 minutes to spare. So I'm telling you right now, it's not going to make or break the Elite Challenge. Just go about it, take your time. Really not going to matter. So make your way along the drainage tunnel and hit right on the D-pad to actually make your way into the compound. Now, if you've struggled with this heist before using any other setup process, you can probably already tell that this is going to be the best way to do it. You're already inside the compound, you haven't alerted any guards, and you're right beside your primary target, ready to get the heist going. Once you're inside the compound, after a short cutscene, the game is going to try to orient you left out of the door, but instead, we're going to turn around and head right. There are a bunch of different ways that you can get to El Rubio's office without alerting the guards. There's even a way that you can get there without having to interact with any guards at all, except for the ones that are guarding El Rubio's office specifically. But that relies a little bit more on timing, and this method I'm going to show you is going to be a little bit more consistent. Don't be intimidated to take out multiple guards at the same time. I know to a new player this might seem like a pro strat, but once you understand what's going on, it's actually super easy. When you shoot the first guard, the second guard is going to duck, and if you shoot too soon, he'll duck under the bullet and you'll miss the shot entirely. But if you shoot the first guard and let the second guard finish his duck, he's going to put his head right where you're expecting it to be, allowing you to get that easy headshot. It's the same concept as whistling in Red Dead Redemption 2 when you're hunting animals. When you whistle, the animal will perk up and look in your direction, allowing you to line up an easy headshot every single time. Now, making your way around the corner, you'll notice a guard on the catwalk and a camera just behind him. Now, it looks like you're going to be in the vision cones of both of these, but they actually can't see you from the angle that they're at, so go ahead and continue on your way. If you've somehow acquired the gate key at this point in the heist, you can use it to get through this gate right here and head right into the basement where the primary target is. But we're going to assume you don't have the gate key and head around the corner here. There's going to be a guard at the top of this railing. Make sure you take him out as he's standing at the entrance to get up the stairs to El Rubio's office. At this point, you're pretty much home free. Head up the stairs and make sure you look at your minimap, as there's going to be a guard making his way down the stairs right here. I've seen a lot of players screw this up, so take your time. You're not in any rush. Wait for the guard to get to the bottom of the stairs, then smack him in the face for an easy silent kill. I recommend meleeing guards instead of shooting them as often as possible, because missing a shot is likely to alert a guard in the distance you weren't paying attention to. And if you have the Perico key, now's a good time to collect the pistol from El Rubio's desk. And make sure you open up the safe on the wall right here. It'll contain anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 in free money that won't take up space in your loot bag. Just be aware that collecting that money will also collect a pistol that doesn't have a silencer, and you don't want to go accidentally shooting that off later on in the heist and alert all the guards, ruining your stealth approach. Make your way to the left of the elevator to begin the fingerprint hack. Now, I'll be going over in as much detail how to do the fingerprint hack in this video, but just know in the description I'll leave a link to another video going in way more depth on how to master the fingerprint hack. Essentially, all you need to know, despite what Pavel tells you, is that there is only one fingerprint per section of the hack. That means that if you find the top or bottom of the fingerprint, you don't need to double check the example to see if it's the right one. Each of the sections below the top fingerprint is just one additional section to the right. So what do I mean by this? Essentially, what you need to know is there aren't any unused fingerprint sections, and all of the sections are going to be in order of the fingerprint. Now, what do I mean by that? So if you head to the top of the fingerprint and set it to the top one, that's going to be correct. Then the one underneath it is the top one plus one to the right. The third one is going to be plus 2 to the right. The same thing works from the bottom in reverse. So set the very bottom one to the bottom part of the fingerprint, then hit left for the one above that, then hit left twice for the one above that, then hit left 3 times for the one above that. Again, guys, if this doesn't make sense, go into the description and watch my video. I'm going to have all kinds of fancy diagrams for the video. You're going to love it. It'll explain everything super, super easy. Again, guys, I'm really sorry if that doesn't make too much sense. Just head to the description and click the video if you don't understand. It will make you a master at the fingerprint scanner. I'll even be going over extra things that I didn't describe in this video, so even if you think you get it, believe me, it'll be worth a watch. Once you make your way out of the elevator, head straight for the door and press right on the D-pad to melt the lock right off, revealing your primary target. Now, if you got bearer bonds or this is the first time you're doing the mission, you'll get a text message with the actual safe codes. And honestly, guys, once you get the text message, the best way to memorize it is just to say it out loud over and over again. 779713, 779713. You could alternatively write it down, but I feel like that would take even longer, and it's not too difficult to memorize 3 numbers. Now, if your primary target is one that requires the plasma cutter to cut through the glass to actually get a hold of your primary loot, I'll be leaving a link in the description to a video explaining that. Now, if you have the gate key, take that door out. Otherwise, take the elevator right up to the top of El Rubio's office. Personally, I take El Rubio's elevator up to his office even if I have the gate key in order to collect the artwork, assuming there is any, and plus the path to get to the exit is a little bit easier considering we've killed most of the guards already. So make your way out of the office and head right down the stairs the same way that you came in. Don't worry about any of the guards walking around underneath you because they can't see you even if you are standing inside their vision cone. Once you've made your way to the bottom of the steps, hang a right around the corner and get ready to kill the guard with the red vision cone. He paces back and forth from here to the gates behind us, and when he's standing in front of the gates in idle position, his vision cone is actually right over top of one of the other guards, making it a little bit more difficult to escape if you like to be thorough. Now, as you might have saw, he did drop the gate key, which will open the gate behind us, but we're not going to take that gate as there's a guard standing right on the other side of it, and he will spot you, so unless you're a really quick on the draw shot, I'd recommend taking this path right here. There are 2 guards walking in front of the main gates, which is your exit point. Neither of them need to be killed, but for thorough purposes, we're going to take them both out to make our path a little bit clearer. Sneak around their vision cones or take them both out, then make your way to the gate and hit right on the D-pad to exit the compound. At this point, guys, you're essentially home free as far as the compound goes. Now, in order to get the Elite Challenge, you need to complete 3 things. You need to not fail any of the hacks, which I'm assuming at this point you've already done. You need to be able to fill up your entire loot bag, and you need to make it out of Cayo Perico in less than 15 minutes. All of these things are super doable, as I'm going to show you right here, even if you get bad RNG with your secondary loot spread across the entire island. Now, once you get out of the main gates, there will be a guard straight ahead of you, just kind of posted up in front of his motorcycle. I think he's mumbling to himself, so put him out of his misery and relieve him of his motorcycle if you so choose to. Feel free to go by foot because there's a couple guards we have to take out in front of us, and there's another motorcycle waiting for you right in front of the checkpoint that they're guarding. Take out the first guard, then pull up to his dead body, and I recommend hopping off the motorcycle in order to take out the next 2 guards with the advantage of auto aim. Like I said before, headshot the first guard and wait for the second guard to finish his flinch and line up the second headshot easy peasy. There's also a camera right by the checkpoint, make sure you take that out before you move on. Once you make your way through this checkpoint, what you do is entirely up to how spread out your secondary targets are and what secondary targets you want to take advantage of. Regardless of where my secondary targets are across the island, I like to take a hard right and head up this hill, giving the watchtower on top of the hill a wide berth so I don't get caught, and avoiding the bushes like the plague. Once you've made your way to the top of the hill, you get a really good view of the island, or at least all the important parts that you're going to want to take care of, and then you can take a look at your minimap to figure out which way you want to go. Now, our exit's going to be at the main docks, but I'm going to head right to this cache just to show you how easy the Elite Challenge truly is on this heist. Now, if you don't already know, you're going to want to go for cocaine or weed as your secondary loot, cocaine being the highest and weed being the second highest. You can also get gold, but that requires 2 players, and this is a solo Elite Challenge heist, so we're not going to go over that for now. Now, pound for pound, cash is going to be the least valuable secondary loot that you can possibly get, but I'm going to head right and pick it up anyway just to show you how doable the Elite Challenge truly is. It'll take 4 cash drops, 3 weed drops, or 2 cocaine drops to fill up your loot bag and net the Elite Challenge during the Cayo Perico heist. So what I'm going to end up doing is taking 2 cash drops and 1 cocaine drop just to show you how easy it is to net the Elite Challenge and make a ton of money as a solo player, even if your luck using RNG is bad. Taking a look at the Cayo Perico Island map, you'll notice that there are secondary loot drops on the northern end of the map, but since we're exiting the compound and the compound is on the far south end of the map, I don't even scope those sections out. I only scope out the sections by the main dock and to the east of the main dock where we're at now. Normally, you can find 2 separate cocaine loot drops as secondary loot on the southern end of the map. These are all going to be beside El Rubio's compound, making your trip a little bit easier. There are 2 guards walking towards this loot location. Assuming you haven't taken them out already, I wouldn't worry too much because they can't actually spot you from inside the cages. This doesn't apply to all the cages, just on this particular one. So take them out if you want to, or wait them out, then drive away on your motorcycle. Now, you can take the path to the next loot section, although I don't recommend it as there are wheelie jeeps that drive up and down that will spot you if you're not paying attention. If you want to take this path around, you can. There aren't too many bushes. Just make sure you give the guard tower to your right a wide berth just in case he turns around in your direction while you're driving. Once you make your way down, you can collect the next secondary loot. By this point in the heist, El Rubio will be in his helicopter pacing back and forth across the island trying to spot you. Now, El Rubio is not the Sixth Sense cops that we have in GTA Online. They don't always know where you are. They're not always going to be driving in your direction. So if you see him coming around, feel free to hop underneath a little bit of cover. Inside the cages works great with the secondary loot. They cannot spot you in there. But once you get to this section here, feel free to take out this guard right here as he does pace back and forth and can cause problems. There's also a guard just to the side of this cage right here. Make sure you take him out or he will spot you while you're collecting the loot inside the cages. Now, there is a ton of loot around the main docks where we're at right now. However, there is a garage that can only be opened with 2 players. At the end of the day, as a solo player, you can honestly just come to the main docks and there's a good chance you'll be able to fill up your entire loot bag 99% of the time. Here, I took 1 cache. Here, I'm taking another cache, and beside it is cocaine. That will make a full loot bag. Once you've filled up your loot bag, it should be noted that you don't have to take the escape plan that you originally planned. If things go wrong or you're in a strange position, you found some extra loot, whatever the situation is, feel free to take any escape plan that you want. All you need to do is hop in a boat and drive away from Cayo Perico as quickly as possible. At this point, it should also be noted again that in order to get the Elite Challenge, you don't actually have to escape undetected. All you need to do is escape with a full loot bag in less than 15 minutes without failing any of the hacks. So feel free to murder as many of these or as few of these as you possibly want. hop in your boat and beeline it away from the island. Now, the dinghy that it does recommend you is pretty quick, but again, you don't need to take that. Feel free to take any escape route that you want. Taking these guards out is not necessary, but I do it just to be thorough and to show you how easy it is to escape Cayo Perico without being spotted with plenty of extra time. I literally could sit here and rant for another 2.5 minutes and I still would escape with enough time to get the elite challenge. Hop in the boat and beeline it out of there as quickly as you possibly can. And if you're trying to keep the heist as stealthy as possible and you want to be a perfectionist like me, again, not necessary, take out the guard that's waiting for you on the side of the docks, as well as avoiding any of the patrol boats that seem to always be right outside of the dock exit. For this last guard here, it is possible to pull the boat up and just get a quick headshot on, but I'm not that confident in myself, so I just hopped out onto the side here, gave him a quick headshot, then pulled away. Again, for the 150th time, guys, you will have plenty of time to finish this heist. Even if you royally screw things up, once you do have a full loot bag, it's really easy to just make your way to the closest dock, hop in the closest boat, and take off. You will take a couple of shots, and ideally it is better to do things thoroughly, but if you're looking for like a speed run type of situation, you really don't have to worry about any of these guys, and you will still collect the Elite Challenge bonus. Just make sure that you don't run into these boats. And boom, ladies and gentlemen, that is that. You have completed the Cayo Perico heist in less than 15 minutes with a full loot bag as a solo player and not failing any of the hacks. You will collect your elite bonus. Again, guys, I just broke 300 subs on YouTube, and from what I could tell, you guys are really liking my content, so feel free to drop a like if you liked what I did today, and please do subscribe, help out your boy, show him a little bit of love, and we can get to YouTube verification in no time. I believe we can do it. Let's get it done, guys. I'll be dropping all kinds of videos over the next couple of weeks, but whether it be the fingerprint scanning video, whether it be how to collect the combat shotgun, what points of entry to take, points of interest, I mean, the escape routes, the entry points, all of the above in order to completely finish the Cayo Perico heist. So like I said, guys, feel free to subscribe. And as we're finishing up the heist right here, we're going to throw in a couple of extra tips and tricks that'll help you along when you're completing the heist. And the first is going to be a fact that everybody knows: Grand Theft Auto Stealth is absolutely completely broken. Now, here you can see in the clip in the bottom left, I got caught by 4 separate guards who actually began shooting at me with other guards in the area. My cover wasn't blown. I was able to take out all 4 of them and continue the heist as usual. So my tip to you guys is don't give up. If you get caught, just blow everybody down before you actually quit. So my next tip is going to be escaping Cayo Perico on one of the patrol boats. Now, if you find yourself in a situation that you don't want to use the regular getaway, maybe you're strapped for time, maybe you got caught and you got to run away, maybe the boat blew up, whatever the reason is, you can always pull up to the shoreline of Cayo Perico, and you're going to end up finding yourself a patrol boat driving by. There are plenty of them to choose from, so go ahead and shoot out the driver, hop in the water, hijack the boat, and make your way out of there. Another tip is that when you're leaving Cayo Perico, the primary loot inside your bag won't actually get damaged if you get shot. Only the secondary will. So, worst case scenario, even if you get shot a ton, there is a maximum to how much loot you can lose by getting shot. And guys, my last tip for you today is once you have a full loot bag, at the risk of sounding redundant, you do not have to do the heist stealthily, entirely stealthily at least, in order to get the elite challenge, okay? So if you get caught at the end, honestly, don't worry about it. Better than restarting your game is hopping in a boat and taking off at full speed. You can have El Rubio chasing you, you can have buzzards shooting in the ass. It's going to work for you regardless, as long as you get it below 15 minutes. Obviously, no quick restarts. You're going to have to not fail any hacks at all, and you're going to have a full loot bag. So as long as you covered those 4 tips right there, you are going to get the elite challenge. And that is basically that, guys. This has been how to complete the Cayo Perico heist, get as much loot as you possibly can, how to get the elite challenge, how to not fail the hacks, what setups to choose, how to escape, like what guards to kill, what paths to take, how not to get caught, when to get caught, whether or not it's an issue if you get caught, all of the above, guys. So thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate every single one of you. So once again, guys, drop a like if you liked what I did today, and your boy just hit 300 subscribers, so feel free to subscribe for more content in the future. One last thing before I go, guys, I've started a crew in GTA Online. I'm trying to start a community here, so feel free to join the crew. It's an open crew. Anybody gets accepted, and if you do change the crew to your active crew, shoot me a message, or I can do it on my own. I will promote you at least one step up to representative, if not further, if we end up playing together. Super easy to do, and you can say that you were there from the beginning, guys. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weekends. Good luck grinding out the Cayo Perico heist, and don't forget to stay classy.